Speedrun of this game heavily uses the speed drop, the hard drop mechanic quite a bit because it's fast. Oh. That was my fault. I forgot. Don't need to split. So the timer's going to be off by a bit, but it's fine. The main object of this game, besides doing what I've already told you, is also to clear as many viruses as you can at a time. So you're going to be seeing me do certain strategies that incorporate the clearing of multiple viruses at the same time. Like right here. I'm going to do this and it's going to clear both of the viruses at the same time. Hey Tasselfoot, thanks for the raid. Let's see if I can get this. Yes, I got it. So that was a very difficult strategy there. I had a couple of frames to swap that over to the other spots. Because if I hadn't done that, then I would have actually that actually would have been difficult for me to complete. But you just gotta keep doing strategies like that, and you can get out of stuff that are pretty odd to get out of. And that's the hallmark of a good Dr. Mario player, is they're able to get out of mistakes that they make, and they're able to be very creative in their clearance of the viruses. As you're going to see, it's going to start to get pretty hectic as we continue on in this game. Up to the point where the number of viruses just gets so much that you start to have quite a lot of issues clearing the viruses. But we're not going to be at that point for a while. Since there is still pretty early on in the game, the number of viruses still isn't that much. This game is for WiiWare, and you cannot so as such you cannot find it. Since the Wii store is shut down now, you cannot legally find this game anywhere. So, if you want to play this game, you're going to have to play it on emulator. I am playing on emulator right now because that's the only option I have. If you were lucky enough to buy this game back when this game was actually available, then you can play it non-emulator, but for the leaderboards themselves, it actually doesn't. We accept non-emulator and emulated runs, so it doesn't matter. That's not where I meant to place that. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of an interesting level here. Okay, that's fine. I can get that out from there. When I play this game, I usually talk to myself quite a lot because there's a lot to keep track of when you're playing this game. And since we have quite a bit of time, yeah, there's a lot of time for me to explain stuff in this run. There are going to be times where I'm just not going to talk. More so to concentrate than anything, because this game requires a lot of concentration. So when I don't have any, when I have pills that I don't want to use, I'm just gonna drop them anywhere. And that's pretty much all we're gonna do is just drop them where I can. Every after a level 5, 10, 15, and 20, you're gonna get that little message there. As this is speedrun, we just skip through that as fast as possible. That's pretty much all we do with that. But there's an example of a... Oh, placed that in the wrong spot. That's fine, though. There's an example of clearing as many viruses as possible with one drop. And that's what you want to do in this run as much as you can, is clearing as many viruses as you can with one drop. A lot of times, though, you're not going to be able to clear multiple viruses in one drop, and you have to clear one at a time. And that's where a lot of advanced planning goes in, where you start to make, piece together certain things you can do, and then you can go and, after you clear like this, you can do chains like that, and that's pretty much what we do a lot in the speedrun, is we make a lot of chains, but there's actually a lot of time where you can't actually even make chains because the viruses themselves aren't in the best of locations. But there's a chain there to finish the level off. And we are heading on to stage 7 already. The good news is I actually did get a PE in this category a few days ago. Right before... Ooh, that's not good. I'm actually going to use the try again feature, so I'll talk about the try again feature in 1 second. Actually, I'm going to try again because that layout was not good. But the try again feature is allowed. You basically are able to try the same level you were playing again. It's a feature in the game, so it's not banned. It's just one way that you can change. If you don't like the board, you can change it, and that's fine with us on the speedrun.com leaderboard. If it's a feature in the game, so we don't mind if you use it. In fact, a lot of people use it for what's called RNG manipulation. Although a lot of people don't, I personally don't use RNG manipulation. A lot of other people that play this game do. But it's just mainly up to you whether you want to use the RNG manipulation or not. But a lot of people that play this game don't. Like they either do or they don't, and a lot of the people that I know actually don't play with RNG manipulation, but a lot of the top names do, like ACMLM and those guys. They do use RNG manipulation, where they manipulate a good board, and then they play that board, and then they hope that the RNG favors them in some of the later boards. So this level got messy, and that's fine, because it's just the way that you deal with the RNG of this game is just also determines how good of a player you are of this game. So there's a lot of different things that go into this game that determine how good of a player you are. The main thing is being able to deal with the mistakes that you make as quickly as possible, because in later levels, there's going to be spots where you are going to have to place pieces on the wrong spot in order to open up other spots, because everything that you're seeing is RNG. Where the viruses appear on screen and which colors you get, basically everything in this game is RNG. So if you don't like RNG, this is not a game for you. The leaderboard requires that I play on the normal, the medium speed. So all of my runs, in fact, every single run that is done for leaderboard purposes is done on the medium speed. And that's just a leaderboard requirement, so... but I will be playing on the fast, the high speed for the incentive, which did get met. So thank you for those who got it met, because you will actually be able to see me play on high speed after this run is done. Another thing you want to try to minimize is the number of pieces that you have fall, as well as the number of turns you do, the number of rotations per piece. If you rotate the pieces too much, you actually lose time, because it takes time to rotate the pieces. Like that, I lost maybe a second rotating that piece there. Anyways, we're getting to the point where the number of viruses start to get pretty high, and starting around here is where you're going to start to see me not hard drop as much, because the more you hard drop on the more you hard drop in general, the more likely you are to make mistakes. And as such, I try to avoid that by actually not hard dropping as much as possible in the later levels. However, I will still hard drop in the later levels. It just depends on the circumstance. So my PB in this category is a 1:16:16. However, because of the RNG of this game, I had to give it a bit of a higher estimate. The estimate should be 140, but that includes the incentive. Without the incentive, it's 130. And that's still a pretty, I have to make it generous because of the amount of RNG that is involved with this game. If this game didn't have a lot of RNG, then I could give an estimate closer to my PB, but I have to give an estimate that's actually fairly generous for this game, because as you've already seen, some mistakes in a level can be fatal, especially later on when we start getting into the 20s, and even before the 20s. Because right now we're at 44 viruses to start. 44, yeah, it should be 44 on this level. Because level 0 counts as a level. That's why it's 44 on level 10 and not 40. And not 40. Because this is technically the 11th level. That was the wrong placement there, but like I said, it's fine if you make wrong placements, so long as you're able to get out of it later on. That's fine. Like right there, I was able to get out of that wrong placement. There's a lot of different ways to play this game too. You can play it where you do some interesting placements and you just have fun making long chains. You can play this game so that you just for score. You can play this game for score if you want, but to actually speedrun this game is really difficult. Like I said, it requires a lot of focus. And it also involves a lot of creativity as well, which is actually a really interesting facet of this game. Is that if you're pretty creative, you're actually you can actually think up also thinking ahead. But if you're creative, you can make these pretty neat plays and creative plays, and then if you think a lot, think ahead a lot, that's also very good. Okay, so yeah, so this level is 48 viruses, and right around here is where the game starts to get a bit more difficult than it was. It's still not entirely completely difficult, but it's starting to get difficult here. One other thing you want to make sure you do at all times is keep all three colors open. That's one thing you want to make sure you do at all times is have all three colors open, because it enables you to place the pills no matter which color you get without making mistakes, and that's a good thing because, like I said, having to make mistakes is not something that you want to do, but the game usually forces you to do it at some point. Now that is what I would call a great chain. That cleared, I think, 7 or 8 viruses at the same time. And it's stuff like that that really is really fun to have happen, because it's just pretty insane when you're able to do stuff like that. Yeah, I can do it that way. Oh, okay, then too late to place that where I wanted to place it, so I'll just place it over there for now. Okay, that's good. Every so often, as you play a level, the speed will increase. That is the case whenever you hear that little chime that you just heard. That is what happens. That is what is happening. Is the base speed that the pieces fall at increases every time you hear that. Like that chime you heard just there is what I'm talking about. So every single time you hear that is when the speed of the pieces that are falling increases. And you'll hear it fairly often because the speed does increase fairly often on this particular speed setting. It's every so many pieces. This opening's not the greatest, but I think I can make it work. Yeah, I can make this opening work. When we get towards the later stages, that's where I'm going to start talking like this opening will work or this opening won't work. What that means is I'm basically just telling myself if this particular opening will work. Because there's when we get into the much later levels, like 20 and higher, there's going to be some openings that are going to be impossible to deal with because the viruses that you have to clear are of a color that's not available at the start. And that's not something you want to deal with. Because it'll take especially in the speedrun, because it'll take a lot of time to deal with it. And that's the main reason why. Oh, I moved that. I should move that once too many. Oh, okay, I can do that. Wrong orientation. Wrong orientation again. Okay, I was able to get that virus out from underneath everything else, so... Like I said, if you're able to deal with stuff like that, where you have a virus underneath a bunch of other stuff, like you saw there, that just goes to show how good of a player you are at this game. Because some of what's happening is actually has been not the best play so far. But we are closing in on the end of this level. And after level 10, you get a bigger fanfare celebration, and that is, I'm going to try this again. That is because you're past level 10. It's just something that the game does. All right, so here's where the game can start to get a little bit punishing if you make a mistake, and yeah, I'm gonna have to try that again because I messed up a bit too much there in the beginning. Like I was saying earlier, the try again feature is allowed because that's what the community has decided, and that's pretty much it. Alright, let's see. Yeah, but now you're starting to see that I'm having to place pieces where I don't want to place them because of the colors that are available. Like, I don't have good colors available. Like, right now I have no spots for reds at the moment. So any reds I get, I'm going to have to place somewhere. And I actually have like two yellows available now, which is not the best either. Like I said, you want to try and keep all three colors available at at all times if you can. And a lot of the time it's not possible to do that in the later levels. But right now I'm in a fairly decent spot because I have every color open and I have chaining potential for pretty much every color available as well. If there are any questions anyone has in chat, feel free to ask. Because right now I've pretty much run out of stuff to talk about in terms of this game. This game, once you've played it enough and you've talked about it enough, it starts to become kind of repetitive to talk about, since there's not really much going on. It's just more of the same. That's pretty much it. Oh, there is one thing I should talk about, and that is that you don't want to create towers. Misplaced that, oh well. What I mean by towers is there's going to be certain spots that you'll see a lot of viruses on one side of the screen, and that's not something that you want to have because it will actually... that particular pattern takes a long time to deal with. And that's why you don't want to have a lot of viruses on the side of your screens, because it will take a very long time for you to get rid of. Actually, gotta wait for this red so I can drop it there. And that level's done. So right now you're starting to see a lot more of the play that I was talking about, where you have to work around what colors you're given. And it's play like this that really helps to determine what kind of time you're going to get in this game. Because the fewer mistakes you have to make, and I classify a mistake as placing the wrong color on top of a virus. Like, all of those right there were what I consider to be mistakes. It's just how you deal with them is how well you play the game. So right now we're in a pretty good spot in this level. There's no chance of me dying anymore. And that's going to be something that's going to be fairly... something that is going to have to be dealt with later on is... the later you get into the game, the higher the chance of you dying because of the amount of viruses you have to deal with. Also, another facet of this game is another skill that helps determine that helps you out in this game is thinking on your feet or thinking on the fly. If you're able to think on the fly a lot, then you're going to be a better player at this game, because a lot of what goes on in this game is like split-second decisions mainly, and if you're able to think on the fly, then you're able to make split-second decisions. You'll be able to play this game a bit better. So now we're at 64 viruses, which is quite a lot to start with. It'll eventually, I believe, when we reach 20, it'll be at 84. And then a couple levels later, it'll be at the most it can be at, which is 99. So right here, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm gonna have to retry that level because I misplaced a single piece at the top, and that's what I said about this particular. About when we get to these levels, is that it starts to become pretty difficult to deal with just the number of viruses that you have to deal with, and any single mistake can make you can give you issues. At least the music in this game is good. I would not want to play this game if the music wasn't good. Oh well, that's fine. I could just deal with it like that. Though once you do hear this song enough, it can get a bit irritating. Probably not the right word to describe it, but yeah, I actually really like this song, so I don't mind it that much. Alright, there we go. And this is what I would consider a tower situation, where on the right side here, like I said, these are patterns that are very difficult to deal with quickly. And as such, you want to try and avoid them as much as you can, but sometimes they're unavoidable. Okay, I'll do it this way then. Yeah, that'll work. Because then I can go ahead and deal with that one. Okay, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with these on the sides then. A lot of times you don't have the sides open to deal with towers like this. It's because they're too high up, and you would have to fill up a lot of the screen in order to do that. And it's just not very... It's just not something you can do in a time-efficient manner. No, I'm not going to try and deal with that. I'm just going to use the try again feature. I mean, that opening was fine, I just made a mistake. And at this stage, mistakes are just too costly to recover from. That little siren you hear is when you get high on the... is when you start to get really high on the field. You'll start hearing that a lot more in the when we get to like the 20s, and even a couple levels before the 20s. Another thing that helps you be a good player at this game is being efficient with your piece placement. That is not using too many pills like here. Instead of placing that red to the right to make 5 in a row, you actually put it to the left so that you use it for the piece. So that you use it to help clear the virus to the left. And there's a lot of that in this game. Especially when you get to the later levels. But right here I was waiting for that particular piece so that I can clear all those viruses at the same time. I did miss that placement there, but like I said, missing some placements is fine so long as you don't miss them too early on in the level, because like I said, missing them really early on in the level is not something you want to do. And this is also another pattern that isn't that good, but you can make it somewhat good if you're able to get lucky pieces like that. But this level is now complete. And we're moving on to level 17, which we are now into the 70s for viruses. And this is where you're going to start seeing me not hard drop as much as I was in the previous levels. Because mainly because of what I've already explained, because this starts to get a bit too dangerous, because with the hard drop feature, it's just extremely easy to make mistakes. If you're not careful. If you're careful, then it's fine, but it's pretty hard to be accurate while you are placing pieces with hard drop. Right now I'm in a bit of a tough situation because I don't have any reds open. Well, I mean, I have reds open on the side, but that doesn't really help me out that much. When I talk about having stuff open, I mean like open from the top, not open from these sides. And now the pill RNG is really starting to get to me. Starting to get some really bad pill combinations here. Still treating me a bit unfairly, the pill RNG is, but it's fine. We should be able to get out of this level without too many more issues fairly quickly. Just have the tower on the side to deal with. That's the main thing that I have to deal with right now. But, oh, actually I can deal with that there. Yeah, it's not going to do anything there. But I can deal with more of it that way. Hello. TRS, are you? That's good. Yeah, red's going fine. Okay, so there's no piece for that. There's no place for that piece, so I'm going to immediately just restart. There, I can place that there. And then I can place this there and clear 4 at a time. And then I can deal with that like that, so that should work. Okay, that was really close, but it's fine. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with some of this fallout here. Yeah, that'll take care of everything that I needed it to take care of. That was a pretty bad mistake, but the really nice pill RNG there helped me get out of that situation very quickly. So that was a situation that could have been really bad, but ended up not being that bad because the pill RNG helped kind of bailed me out of that pretty bad situation pretty quickly. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So now, I consider this level to be completed, in my mind at least. It's not completed on paper yet, but it will be. I don't, there's no chance of me dying on this level anymore, or needing to retry it. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's see. I can deal with that way. Yep, that's good. So you're starting to see some interesting plays, and that's what I actually like about speedrunning this game is all the interesting plays you can actually do with this game. That's fine. That's good. There we go. No reds are open, so any reds I get are not good. I don't want reds right now. Although that piece RNG there really helped me clear that out. So now I'm in a situation where I have like blues that I need to get, I need to dig out. I literally just need blues right now. I don't want any other color. And by blues I mean like blues and yellows, or double blue. Double blue's good. And this is another tower situation that I'm having to deal with right now. Okay, that's good. And this should showcase why towers are not good to get, because it's making this pretty painful. And now I'm getting more. Jeez. Oh my god, that was a pretty bad level 18. But now you can see pills are way up, the viruses are way up to the top of the screen. So this is where the point is, where any mistakes you make are not good. Let's just say that. I mean, no mistakes at the beginning of the level. Once you get rid of most of the top of the screen, you're good. But before that, any mistakes you make can be pretty bad, and might be in a situation here. Let's see. Okay, so that's taken care of. Just have one more situation I need to take care of, and that's these pills up here at the top. That'll take care of those. Yeah, this should be fine from here. Yeah, we're good. And that should be the, and now the level is clear to my mind, so, because there's no more chance of me dying. Or having to restart the level. I mean, there is a slight chance that I could die, but not really that big of a chance. There. That takes care of the problem I was having up there at the top. And that's perfect piece placement there to get rid of all of those. Let's see, no place for that, but red-blue I can use there. And I can start dealing with this tower situation here on the left. And this is a true tower situation because it's all just one color that I need on the sides. I can deal with it. I can deal with that like that, though. Get rid of that so I can open the red. I can place that there, and then place that there. Get rid of that, and so now I just need to get rid of the stuff that I put on top of it. And now I have the red open, and I can finish the level. Alright, level 20, 84 viruses. Nope, it's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. And I'm not going to say we're in the clear yet, because we still got some... Nope. So you have just those two spots that you can actually get a game over on, and I managed to accidentally hit one of them. So there's a game over for you. Game overs are also fine in terms of speed runs. Oh, gonna have to restart again because the piece combination there was really bad. Nope, gonna have to retry again because pill RNG. This is where you're gonna start to see a lot of resets, or the potential for a lot of resets because of how bad. Nope. There's a mistake because of how bad the pill RNG can be, and because of how bad the starting can be, and because of how bad just a lot of stuff can be. Like right now I'm getting situations that are just I can't deal with. So you may see when you clear stuff at the top that if it goes above the top of the screen, it deletes the pill that's on top of the screen. That's normal behavior. It actually does that in every version of the game, and you can use that as a little bit of safety. If there's another part of the pill you just don't want to deal with, you can use that technique to delete that part of the pill that you don't want to deal with. And that's just a tool you can use to help you get rid of things that you don't want to deal with. Pill energy is being somewhat of a pain here. But overall, this level in particular, it's been a little bit, it's been a little troublesome, but not like too terrible. In my, to give you a comparison, in my recent, PB, I did not have to continue on levels 18, 19, 20, 21, or 22. So I didn't have to restart on like 5 levels. And in this run so far, I've had to restart on every level from the levels that I've already talked about. I've had to restart every single level from 18 through 20 so far. So that's just an example of how varying the times can be. Hello, Skip. How are you? Me wonders if you're actually in chat yet. Probably. Hey, gaming. Yeah. Hey, Skip. I have a incentive after the run that's gonna be another 10 minutes, so we have okay, that's good. Just letting you know that there's a 10-minute incentive at the end of the run. Because I've seen you're queuing the next runner-up, so I'm just letting you know that it's going to be 10 minutes more than the actual estimate is. Probably. Probably not, though. I'm at just over an hour for this run, so... And we're actually pretty close to being done. The incentive that you guys bid on, or bid for, is for me to play level 20 on high to unlock secret credits. There are secret credits in this game, but in order to get them, that's gonna be a reset. In order to get them, you have to beat level 20 on high, and we're not going to be able to do. We're not doing that until after this run is done, and level 21 is now starting to give me trouble. Because the reason why we can't show them during the run is because if you pass the level 20 on high and you get the secret credits and you continue on, if you fail any level past 20, you go back to the back to level 20, and you have to beat all the levels that you've beat all the levels that you already beat again, and that's why you are not allowed to play on high for speedrun purposes. Otherwise, there would actually be a bunch of players who would play on high, but that's the reason why medium is required, because of that fact. It would just create a huge skill gap, and that's not something that we want to have to deal with in this situation. Oop, that was the wrong placement. So now I gotta deal with it like this. That was good. Unintentional chain, I'll take. That'll take care of that. Now just need to get rid of that, and we can clear more viruses. No reds open, so any reds I get most of the reds I get are not going to be good, because they're not anything I can use at this point. But now I can use all the reds in the world, because I have very few other I have no blues open, actually. So that's just an example of how quickly things change in this game. Like, I went from needing no reds to needing all the reds, and then I went from needing no blues to from needing blues to needing no blues. It's just one of those games that you can, and now I don't need yellows, so just constantly switching back and forth from what I need to what I don't need. Yeah, I can put that there. Finally got the piece I was looking for, so I can clear that. Anyways, level 21 is going to be done once I just finish clearing out the last few of these viruses. We'll clear those out. Let's see. Go place that there. Place that there. There we go. Level 21's done. Oh, by the way, when you get past level 20, you get even bigger fanfare after every level you complete. That's going to delete the red there. That's not good, but I got the pills to bail me out. When you get to this high of a level, you do not want to block off any. You don't want to have your pills go all the way to the top and block off part of the top of the screen. That is death, and it wastes a lot of time to deal with. So you don't want to block off part of your screen ever, because it will just it'll kill that particular run, or not that particular run, that particular level, and you'll have to restart. Thankfully, I was able to get the pills to bail me out there. Now I just need to get rid of some of these pills over here, and we'll have this level pretty much cleared. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to die to this level anymore. Now that we have most of the top of the level cleared. Ooh, thank God I pushed that back one. Oh, let's push that under there and then push that there. This has actually been a very good 22. Not sure if it would gold on my splits, but it's been very, very good. I actually haven't had, I think I did have to restart this level once, maybe, but other than that, restarting level 22 only once is really, really good. For me, anyways. I don't consider myself a top-level player, I consider myself a mid-level player. Top-level players, I'm nowhere close to the world record of this category. The world record of this category is about half the time of my run. So it's just under 35 minutes. The world record for this category. And that's because they use RNG manipulation for the entire run. I believe. I haven't watched the world record run, but it's by a Japanese runner named Address. And this level's done. Alright, so we got 2 levels left. Delete that blue. Delete the yellow. Delete the extra red. And now I can start to hard drop a little bit, because we got most of the top cleared out already. No yellows open, so I'm looking for ways to clear out and get some yellows open. And that's already done. Now I'm looking to clear out probably some reds at this point, because I have no more reds open. So any reds I get, I going to want to... I will not want to get that many reds at this point because I still have one open. And now any extra reds I get are not going to be helpful. Still don't need too many reds. Need to get rid of some of these open yellow spots to free up some extra space for other colors. I'll just clear it like that. And that'll open up some extra colors. Push the yellow there. Even though it drops in a spot I don't want it to drop is fine. Because I can probably deal with that pretty easily. Yeah, starting right there. Oh, I could have... that's actually worse placement than I should have done. I should have placed it upright. Because then with this double red I could have gotten rid of the entire red. Instead of having the red be left open like this. So here's a little bit of an unfortunate situation, but I should be able to deal with it fairly easily. I'm not in any danger of dying at all. So there's not going to be any resets or dying or anything. Place out a little bit awkwardly. Yeah, let's just get rid of that. And that'll clear the level. So I believe that was 23. Yep, this is the last level. 99 viruses. I'm gonna have to try that again because that's too close to the top to not have a color open. Again, well, it's the maximum you can have, so yeah, but it's not as bad as it seems. Nope, gotta retry again. Delete the blue. Delete the blue again. Still got one pretty high, so I'm not going to say that this level's clear in the clear yet, but once we clear that that on the left side there, we will be, yep, we're in the clear now. So this level should be complete, as long as I don't make any pretty bad mistakes. We should be done with this level. My PB just passed, so no PB, no marathon PB, but that's fine. We'll still finish about 10 minutes under estimate. No yellows open, so any yellows I get are bad. Alright, so I can get that out of there. And that out of there. There we go. Okay, let's see. How do I want to deal with this? Probably just deal with it like this. Yeah, do it that way. Just getting pretty nasty combinations here. Still getting some really nasty pill RNG here. Oh my gosh. Game, you don't have to do this. Get rid of those for now. There we go, can get that out of there. Can get that out of there. Can get that out of there. Can get this out of here. Can get that out of there. And time's coming up now. Set the timer about 2 seconds late, but so 1:19:39. Really good time. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the incentive. So now we're gonna be playing level 20 on high. I'm not going to be talking at all during this, by the way. Alright, I can, I can talk a little bit now. So, on high, the speed increases are much, greater on the, high. They're a lot, every single time you hear that, chime I was telling you about earlier, the speed increase is actually much greater than in all of the other, than in normal speed. So you'll start seeing the speed of the pills dropping increase a lot more than in the other levels. I believe the point multiplier is also higher on this difficulty, which is why you're seeing my points actually be higher on this difficulty than the other difficulty. But we're almost done with this, and then you'll see the secret credits. This is the only way to see these credits of the game. And it does produce one other effect as well, which I can show immediately after the secret credits are done. And that's the level done. So enjoy the credits. And that's the secret credits you get. And now I just want to show something. So now, when you beat level 20 on high, the background is pink. And that's the other difference that I was telling you about. Anyways, this has been ResortFlamekun. Thanks for watching. And I do not know who we have next, but I think we have Cringe Daisy next. And they're going to... I don't know what game they're going to be playing, but we'll go ahead and get them on their way. So thanks again for watching.